been very testing. We did have that stat came on the telly, didn't it? 35 runs without a win.
To get these horses to the racetrack, they have to be trained right to the limits.
He has bled. You can see it.
At some point in their careers, they usually have had injury.
You're just trying to get the best out of each horse, really.
When they're at the top level, they're running against the best, and they're putting a lot of pressure, and so you get little problems. We're going to run Oscar's Elite in the Reynolds Town. We're just going to use this as a stepping stone to Cheltenham. He caught my eye in a piece of work, so we take our chance. Go on, eh?
It's February, and the yard's preparation for Cheltenham Festival is in full swing. Unfortunately for Joe, one of his biggest prospects, Amarillo Sky, suffered a significant injury in his last race.
Didn't come back in the winner's enclosure. He was lame. I hoped it was just a knock, but he hasn't. He scanned it. He's got a tendon injury, so he'll be out for 12 months.
Tendon injuries are most certainly the commonest national hunt horse injury. Tendon fibres are continually breaking, and nature repairs them. His is a central core lesion. On a scale of 0 to 10, he's probably a 5. It's quite a large amount of the tendon is affected. I would say probably up to 55% of it that was damaged. But it is an injury that sadly does take quite a long time to recover. Oh, poor boy.
It's one of those injuries that you have got to be patient, because if you want to have that longevity post-injury, then he's got to have the time that he needs in order for it to heal properly.
At some point during their career, they get a little spell like this, and he's got plenty of time on his side, so he'll be back for next spring.
The pressure begins to build for the yard, as they haven't had a winner in 24 days. It's less than ideal with Cheltenham Festival just around the corner.
Media always talk about it, don't they? It's been so many days since the yard's had a winner. So I guess the pressure then just starts building.
Like most people this year, it's been a little bit stop-start with the weather, and horses do disappoint sometimes, don't live up to expectations. It definitely can test your patience.
A lot of seconds, just a bit unlucky. I ran a lot of horses. You had that 2 weeks of no racing with the cold.
You have a bit of a flat spot, it's really hard to put your finger on what might be going on. It is racing, and no yard is exempt from it. We all want the results, don't we? You know, we want the results from horses and the owners. We've got to do right by them and hope to get a few winners on the board now, ahead of Cheltenham.
Confidence is not quite so high. It's been very testing. We did have that stat came on the telly, didn't it? 35 runs without a win. 10 or 12 of those 35 were second or third, so it wasn't like they were running bad, but a bit difficult time at the moment.
Bring him here, Hammer.
No doubt he opens the racing post every day and see where he is in the championship. And this morning he was 8th of about 400 trainers.
Very good.
We mustn't get greedy, must we? If he finishes 8th, it'd be brilliant.
Expectations on the team are at an all-time high. To get the horses in peak fitness, there's no margin for error.
He can go on in, Hammer, if he's coughing. I can't see too much wrong with him, but he doesn't need to do so much. She's all right sound-wise now. He feels all right, Mickey? Yeah, he feels well. To get these horses to the racetrack, they have to be trained right to the limits to be fit enough to be competitive.
He has bled. You can see it. We weren't trying to hide it this morning because he worked fast. It was a thorough trial.
Exercise-induced pulmonary hemorrhage. It's a very common problem, and blood gets released into the airway instead of remaining in the blood vessel. It will move forward through the lung space down to the tubular network at the front, and very occasionally will come up the trachea and actually appear at the nose. But it is a very common issue in the racehorse, to the point where it's thought that maybe little bits of blood are produced by virtually every racehorse. He's sore right across that flank, isn't he? We have got some sort of post-race mucus. We'll keep him on a fair bit of pain relief. Should make him feel an awful lot happier. He's a good man. The distances that they're running over, some point in their careers, they usually have had injury.
When they're at the top level, they're running against the best and they're putting a lot of pressure, and so you get little problems.
Although the yard is primarily focused on Cheltenham, every winner is important, especially for their owners.
If we can spring a winner, it would be lovely. And we'll forget about all the bad days.
We're just trying to get the best out of each horse, really. I think the ones with Cheltenham targets, it's a massive thing, but not every owner's lucky enough to have a horse good enough to go to Cheltenham. It's just as important we focus on their horses and trying to get the best results for them as well.
In the days that followed, the yard's luck began to turn, and Joe landed 3 important winners for a variety of owners.
Scirocco's Dream, she's still out in front. She's jumped really well on her chasing debut, and Scirocco's Dream will win.
Black and yellow Killer Kane, white jacket. Killer Kane, a super jump over that final fence, and it's Killer Kane to Joe Tizzard for JP Romans.
Lalagerian up the hill, fairway Freddie still with over a length to find, trying to inch closer, but it's Lalagerian for Joe Tizzard.
When you do have a winner, it's amazing, really. You know, that's what it's all about. That's what we do it for.
The yard's Cheltenham Gold Cup contender continues his preparation in the Grade 2 Denman Chase.
We've got Eldorado Allen going for the Denman Chase at Newbury on Saturday. He's sort of been our flag bearer in the big races this year. He's come up against some top class horses.
He is so consistent. He jumps for fun, freshened up since the King George, and I think he's got a great chance.
Yeah, looking forward to running him, and I think if we've done everything we can and got him there in good shape, and it's down to him and Brendan to go and get the job done. Depending on how he runs this weekend, Eldorado Allen will most likely line up at Cheltenham.
It's race day at Newbury. The team have brought 2 horses who they hope will help in their hunt for graded winners.
I got Eldorado Allen in the Denman Chase. Obviously won the race last year. I'm hoping to do it again. And got Alexa Donuts in the Game Spirit in the race after.
Joe has got this terrible chest infection and he's on antibiotics. And that was 3 days ago when he started out, and he doesn't think they made any difference. He didn't want to come racing with people when he's infected anyway, so it's unusual for Joe.
I think he's a bit sick today, but I spoke to him on the phone earlier, so I got my instructions. I think Colin's quite enjoying all the attention. He's, yeah.
As the horses prepare for the next race, former Cheltenham Gold Cup winner, Native River, parades for the public, giving Colin that little bit of extra attention.
Well, he is, isn't there? We give him enough hard races, but he still bloody he thinks he's going to do it again, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Where's the cheek pieces to? I might need Pauline to help me put a saddle on. Right, we'll do that. Where's Pauline gone? Oh. Done his legs? Pauline.
But here he comes. This is last year's winner, Eldorado Allen. He's got cheek pieces on for the first time today. They'll need to sharpen him up ahead of the Cheltenham Gold Cup next month.
And they're off. They race away then for the first of our big races of the afternoon. 3 miles is the trip for the Betfair Denman Chase.
He's definitely, those cheek pieces doing the job already.
The grey Eldorado Allen is bang up with the leaders as well. And Sam Brown in black and red, the colours in company with those. And the grey and last year's winner, Eldorado Allen, has come through now to join the nose-banded favourite Hitman. Eldorado Allen just picks up in front there, landed by about a half length or so to Hitman in second place.
Well, the best I've seen him jump for a while.
So at the water jump, and they clear it. And it is the black and yellow jacket Eldorado Alan Brendan Powell to number 9, the first over the far side. And now to the 10th, which is an open ditch.
Well, they're all bloody stacking up now.
6 of them. There's only about 4 fences to take to Kalashnikov, Eldorado Alan. All of a sudden, Fanny and Destruval trying to get closer for the extreme left at the final ditch. And as they get over it was Hitman, who just has the advantage.
Well, one of them had to give, didn't it?
Behind this Fanny, and it's Zanza who loves this course. Going to be his 5th win in a row here, and Zanza heads towards the line.
It all went well till he got run out of it in the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's as good as he was on the day. It was worth trying, wasn't it? Because how he was travelling and jumping, it was...
Another day, another
yeah,
dollar.
he's back safe and sound anyway.
Well, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eldorado Alan probably done a bit too much early on, and he did jump and travel better than he ever has, and then didn't finish. So we were and afterwards where we went too fast. Back to the drawing board with him anyway.
After the last race, champion trainer Paul Nicholls approaches Colin to discuss what went wrong with their front runners.
Did they go too fast in that last race?
They did, without a shadow of a doubt. And the winner was beat. What were you doing? I mean, we're on the same scenario.
If I don't tie Brendan Powell's legs together, he will go in front.
Well,
Brendan gets a leg up on Elixir de Nuts, who is looking to secure his place on the team for Cheltenham.
They're off. A race away down to the first then of these 13 fences, and Gamble Responsibly
Oh, Cobbin is going to sit in.
off to the right in the yellow Elixir de Nuts as they move down towards number 2.
Well, you heard what Nicholls said, didn't you?
Yeah, he wants an easy lead.
So now he's going to hold his up.
Here they come to plain fence number 2.
He purposely dropped back in then.
Elixir de Nuts the grey, furthest from us, pink jacket Harry Cobden running in 3rd. 5 fences to jump from here.
He's not bloody running away there, is he?
Elixir de Nuts now 2 lengths behind those in 3rd place, standing Couraged Along, and 2 lengths behind him is Malistic. So they're about to level up into the home straight, just in 3rd place.
Not out of it.
Elixir de Nuts 4 out. 2
Go on, Nuts.
perfectly together. Elixir de Nuts behind.
Come on, Nuts.
Malistic in
Here we
4.
go.
2
Go on,
fences to
Nuts.
jump now.
Go on, Nuts.
Similar, bidding to repeat last year's success. Comes down towards the second last, moving on by a length and a half. Grenadine in second on the left. The grey horse Elixir de Nuts is challenging for second position. Malistic is behind those. They head down towards the last end. Gamble Responsibly in front, steadies as he comes to the final fence. Pops over it well. Elixir de Nuts has taken second. Grenadine with a back on his hand for 3rd. Malistic is challenging him, but it's Gamble Responsibly and Charlie Deutsch in front by 2 lengths. Elixir de Nuts in the yellow is beginning to close, but as they race to the line, Gamble Responsibly repeats last year's success.
Yeah, probably ran as well as he ever has. Championship racing, and he was always beat in the cross fence and stayed on and half a chance at the last. Cheltenham, yeah, that's a hell of a good place to win. It can be done. Something for them to think about the next week anyway. But he ran probably as well as he ever has.
Joe is back working after his bout of illness and is reflecting on his recent runners.
I've been a bit poorly. I've had a chest infection that's dragged on, but I'm on antibiotics now. The horses are back running well, which is good. We're 4 weeks from Cheltenham now. So this will be the last day, Gold Cup day in 4 weeks' time.
And it is the black and yellow jacket Eldorado Alan Brendan Powell.
I said to Brendan, pop him out, we'll ride him positively because he hasn't been travelling so well in his races.
And the grey and last year's winner.
And there was 3 of them all doing the same, and they went like the clappers. I'm not blaming anybody, it was just how the race panned out. He'll still go to the Gold Cup. I see no reason that he won't go and run his race in a bit slower ground, hopefully, and he could nick a place in it. Yeah, Elixir de Nuts ran really well. He's in good nick with himself. He'll be entered in the 2.5 and the Grand Annual at Cheltenham. It depends on the ground, If it came soft, then we'd probably run him over 2 miles. If it was quicker, perhaps 2.5. And I'm pleased with him. These are like my Bible, really. They got all the races in the next month. Race planning, These are my novice hurdlers, all the lists of horses, when they last run, what their handicap marks are. This is all the bottom weights of all the handicaps at Cheltenham in the last 5 years. That's some shit with the doctor. That's something to do with cattle. My little office. I am just looking for races for horses. It's a bit old-fashioned, but I quite like them because I can sit up here and just read through them and look at horses. Then I can just flick through and just scribble. Just sit and jot things down and try to make a plan. That's the key to it, you know. And everybody's got the facilities nowadays. They can get horses fit. Trying to map out their race planning is one of the biggest parts.
A horse who showed great potential at Cheltenham Festival last year has since lost his way.
Certainly a lot quicker than Oscar Elite. Remains in last place, where he's been pretty much from the outset.
Oscar's Elite. He was crap last year. He was bleeding and things. He's difficult to predict, this fucking horses. Never went a yard, did he? Was he that bad on the ground then, or what is it? That's months of planning. Fucking horse racing, isn't it? Hasn't quite happened for him this year. I'd like to think he could get to Cheltenham.
After seeing encouragement from Oscar Elite, Joe has a last-minute idea.
We're going to run Oscar's Elite in the Reynolds Town. We're going to have a crack. There's only 4 runners. Cobden knows him well and he's going to ride him. He's got a chance of winning, don't get me wrong, it'll shake him up, but at the same time we're just going to use this as a stepping stone. We want a confidence boost.
Oscar Elite prepares to travel to Ascot. He's set to compete in the toughest test of his career against 2 fierce rivals in a Grade 2. With the bookmakers pricing him as an outsider in the field, a significant improvement in form is needed.
There he is! Smooth operator he is.
What about Oscar Elite and Joe Tizzard and his team? He's got a big old team here, Joe, and you know what? This horse has so much ability that he's not one to ignore.
No, definitely not. You know, he's been placed in 2 Cheltenham Festivals, in the Albert Bartlett and the Ultima. He caught my eye in a piece of work, so we take our chance. Good luck, mate. Can't say a tear.
Keep an eye on that flag, which is now being raised. They're off and racing for the Bateau London Reynolds Novices Chasers Grade 2 event. Oscar Elite in the orange colours. They're heading down the hill here in the first part of the contest, and now they're about to come around to the home straight for the first time in the Bateau London Reynolds Novices Chase. Oscar Elite's white face on the outside of Kinondo Quetu. Oscar Elite and Kinondo Quetu. Oscar Elite, a talented chaser. It's unfolding to be quite an interesting contest. Getting in tight there was Oscar Elite, but Bold Endeavour continues to pour it on from the front and takes them round towards the turn into the straight. And Oscar Elite trying to lay down a challenge. And Oscar Elite, they nicked a late Pelican. And now for the first time, Oscar Elite. It's all on the final fence here. Oscar Elite put in a terrific leap there, and he's scampering clear on the run-in. And Oscar Elite, a horse that had promised before, is going to deliver today and take the Grade 2 Reynolds for Harry Cobden and Joe Tizzard.
Fucking brilliant. Well done, Marianne. Fucking well done. Well done. Fucking lovely, wasn't it? Well done, yeah. You know, we had a quiet enough spell and the horses have just come good, and then you have a good one like this. It's a good pot as well.
That's what we need.
Just confidence for everybody, just a nice tonic for everybody. And you know, we've had plenty of seconds and things in big races, but then you go and win a big one at Ascot on a Saturday, and it just boosts everybody, boosts me. I've been feeling poorly, but I feel quite well at the moment. And when it comes off, it's special days and you have to enjoy them. There's plenty of disappointing days, and we'll enjoy this one and make the most of it, and then make sure the Middletons enjoy it as well.
Are we happy? Happy?
Very, very, very happy.
Like I've said all the way through, this is about Saturday runners in these big races, and that's what I'm about. We had a quiet enough spell and the horses have just come good. Then you have a good one like this, and hopefully there's a lot more to come. Well, Cheltenham is basically our Olympics. It's 4 days of the most competitive racing of the year, where the best take on the best. I'm really happy with where all the Cheltenham horses are, so don't need anything silly to go wrong, really.
It's all about the best horses, the best trainers, the best jockeys. It's a wonderful occasion.
Quite some sight as we approach the first.
Looking forward to it. It's my first ride in the Gold Cup. Hopefully I run well. When you have a winner at Cheltenham, it is more special than anywhere else. Simple as that.
The white-faced Oscar Elite orange jacket has latched on as well.
I was part of it all before, but I want to get my name on there.